say that this is going to go to small business, even though we know that this project is bringing in this amount of money. So what you have just done is you created a space for small businesses to operate in, which the primes are now, they'll see, oh, okay, you know, they're going to see that Caltrans really has, you know, an effort to work with small businesses, and then they will follow suit. Because one thing that we found out, primes will not, unless you guys mandate it, they won't work with us.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah. Okay, so I know we've got lots of energy in the room. Yes. And all I'd like to know, and I'd like to let you know you're preaching to the choir. Okay? Although I've been more than willing, and I know George is too, to take your information back. That's why we come out to these meetings, is because what we're doing as far as advocacy for disabled veterans, small businesses, and disadvantaged business enterprises has a little more credibility when we come back and say, we were just at the small business in Northern California meet, and you know, this is what they're saying. So that's what we do, is we take that back to us. And the A&E folks, construction, I'd love to be able to see them break it out. Not how they do business right now, but we're working on it, okay? With the A&E contracts, there's been some people, a couple of them from the Bay Area, who have been really, really pushing for this. This is nuts. You cannot expect a little environmental consulting agency to be able to compete on a $200 million contract statewide, da-da-da-da-da. So they finally started, you know, one little one that they did was materials and specifications. And they started breaking it down to smaller entities for doing bridge inspections and materials inspections and so on. And they just had that kind of a little mandatory pre-bid thing in October of last year. So little bit by little bit, the progress is being made. Thank you. Yes, we're trying. But then again, I am going to get back to a little bit more about what Hewitt was saying of how you can get yourself connected to them, because so many times it is, you're right, we're not going to use them. And there's other issues of union and this and that that's all involved in that. But a lot of times it is that they really are out there, because the primes have told me, I'd love to have a DVBE. I really would. But the DVBEs that I got information back from, their bids were totally bunk. It wasn't even, they weren't even bidding on what it was that I asked them to bid on. I threw it in the trash. What else am I supposed to do? So that's what I do is, wait. So when I heard that, yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's kind of like, okay, fine, let's hold them accountable, but let's also listen to what they're saying. And what they're saying is we need to improve the caliber of bids that are coming in. I will be having a mock contract workshop that is going to be walking folks through how you do a Caltrans contract, how you bid a Caltrans contract, what you need to have in place in order to succeed after you get the Caltrans contract or after you get the subcontract because your prime had the lowest bid. You know, we can bid with primes and they have the third lowest bid. That's some of the stuff we're going to get afterwards too. That's going to be in April. If you give me your business card, before you leave here, I will make sure you get an invitation to that. Also included in that mock contract workshop is primes, and I want to get your card because I haven't called Hewitt yet, is a panel of prime contractors. C.C. Myers is going to be there. Granite's going to be there. Tiger, I don't know if going to be able to attend, but, you know, Knife River. A lot of the contractors are going to be able to be on the panel, and they're going to specifically say, this is what we need, this is what we don't want, this is how you can come in.
Wait a minute.
So we're going to get more of those. Anyway, this lady right here has a question.
Barbara, I want you, because we don't lose this point, would you please vet your prime or vendors that we're going to panel, because that's just no good to do business with crooks, okay? People who don't pay their bills. So please, just from me to you.
We have an entire unit on the first floor that does nothing but try to assist with that. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Excuse me. I'm Barbara. I had a couple of questions. One was, I just hear the barriers on a continual basis when you're speaking, and I appreciate what you're doing and what you're trying to do in advocacy, but I hear them coming out. So for instance, you said that the small businesses should email to you, that's a marketing plan, email the information to you. Then you said that they should email their qualifications includes their bonding capacity. But what happens is right there, when you said that, that probably made someone know, I don't need to email you anything because I don't have bonding capacity. So you lose out on a percentage of contractors that really are qualified to work with you as a result of that. The other thing is they don't have staff sitting in the office to market to all of these various primes and also to you. Hopefully they'll have an opportunity to bid, and hopefully when they bid, that the prime will review their bid and then try to find out why they were not responsive to whatever the scope is. Because somewhere along the line, you're saying that these smaller businesses need to know how to come to the table with the primes and negotiate for themselves, but they don't really have the capacity to do that in many cases. So you lose a great percentage of companies. And so you discourage companies from bidding on the projects as a result of that. So when I hear these terms used, and so you're going to have a workshop or a seminar where they attend on how to do business with Caltrans or how to do business with some of the primes that's on the panel. That also is not going to really bring them enough useful information, but it will certainly show that Caltrans has been proactive in providing the information to them. But I've heard in the past people say, well, they don't really want to work, or they don't really submit bids. But when they say that days like that, there's a large percentage of days out there that you really lose in the process because we really don't have the middle person that's really trying to be the advocate for these contractors. You're an advocate for your program, and you say as a result of that, I'm indirectly an advocate for you, but you're not. Because on the small business side, someone needs to understand what their barriers are so that they can kind of go to the Kiewits and talk to them about it. Because Kiewits will have a variety of contractors send stuff in, and they can go along the creek and say these qualify and these don't. So I'm going to talk to these, I'll call them and invite them in for a meeting. And those will get there. But there are a ton of others out there that can't get to that point. Something is not happening to bring them there. So if you are breaking down the contracts under the prime, or they can be directly to Caltrans, that information is not simulated either.
Exactly. And I'll show you on the website where you can actually find those.
And then most of the time when the contractors, a lot of contractors self-perform, the smaller businesses, we're talking about small businesses. So they don't have someone there reviewing the website. Many times at night they're trying to go over the plans and specs so they can get a bid out, then they have to go out and perform their work on a daily basis. I'm talking about the subtrades. Not so much maybe the professional services, but those subtrades. They have to be out there on the job, otherwise they're not making enough money. So one big contract may come through, but the rest of the year, they may not have any big contracts. So they're out there doing some little small service work themselves to keep their company afloat. That's the reason why you say they go under, is because Caltrans and the primes don't understand the sensitivity needed for the little smaller businesses. So yes, they can follow your guidelines and attend all your meetings and go all the workshops. That is not going to get them at that table with the primes. It's not going to help them know how to navigate the system for the primes, what the primes are looking for. Because the primes,
how would we communicate with them?
Well, actually, if I can step in for a second.
the primes